The 5 cursed stones possessed by Tsutsumi, as well as the 3 given up by Ayami, lost their curse bearers. This temporarily extinguished their spirit power, allowing Mio Kurasuzu to obtain them and seal them away without difficulty. It works that way? The Yin talisman possessed by Ayami Tono was recovered and entrusted to Mio Kurasuzu as well. Thus, any massacre that could potentially be caused by this iteration of the curse was prevented before it could ever happen. Or so it seemed. They forgot about the canal! File update it. Are we going to learn all the stuff about the... Yep, okay. So we have all of the information on all of the stones now, at least. The deep sound of drums once more reverberates through the night air. How long has it been since we started hearing them each day? Could it be coming from the daimyo's residence? I've heard they have a drum in their fire watchtower. Instead of wooden clackers, but I don't see a fire. So why are they sounding the drum? Then one morning a body was found. Isn't that old man Kanzo, the ukiyo painter? He lived nearby, but had been down and out for years. Despite his best effort to sell his works, every now and then his granddaughter would visit, and he would teach her to paint. It was the old man's only pleasure. One day his granddaughter told him about her dreams, curses, souls, resurrection. Hearing her tale, the old man was gripped by a sudden zeal and began to paint with great fervor. His work quickly became famous, enchanting all those who viewed the strange imagery. Even the daimyo had taken notice. What could possibly have happened? The people whispered among each other. It looked almost as if he had been beaten like a drum. So was the granddaughter, Ashino? Curses, souls, resurrection. Maybe. Kills by dismemberment, one who's... Oh, so yeah, that definitely... when we saw this spirit, though, I never really got a good look at the fact that the, legs and hand were missing. So, like, at most I saw the, like, I think it's a kimono, unless if it's a very specific type of thing. At most I saw the kimono and thought maybe it was the, Whispering Canal. I didn't even see if Mio was, like, missing her limbs when we saw the bad end. Okoma was a lovely woman. She was spirited, worked hard, and lived a frugal yet pleasant life until her husband hanged himself. I was gonna say, I think Okoma was the name of the, wife. My husband, a swindler? Who would believe such a thing? Okoma was determined to clear her husband's name. That is when she met Tomizo, a man that was a stranger to these parts. This man must be one of the daimyo's spies. It appears that after my husband, I will be next, so be it. But what is he hunting for? Okama, putting on the air of a woman mourning her husband, went to the bridge nightly to seek nightly. I don't know why I saw an M. Nightly to seek information from Tomizo. She soon discovered that she was right and that her husband had been deceived. Okama decided to bring her newfound knowledge to the daimyo, much to Tomizo's alarm. Angered at having been misled, he confronted her on the bridge, but Okama would not listen. She cursed him, called him vile names, and eventually his patience had worn thin. Blood splattered everywhere, and by the time he returned to his senses, it was already too late. He looked over the bridge into the river of blood below and saw the corpse of a woman missing both an arm and a leg. So that leads to the, ever-burning lantern. When Honjo was filled with samurai residents, spies, one of the outposts, they would communicate to each other in code by turning the lantern on or off. Tonight at 4 a.m. meant that someone would be having the last hope of their life. An unfortunate incident occurred in which a man attacked a woman in a bout of fury. Was that? He regretted it deeply, even declining to invoke the right to defend his honor, but the deed was done. Still, he could not accept it. His rage at having been used by his daimyo boiled over, turning into a grudge he would never forget. Nearby, he saw a lantern quietly glowing in the night, and when the 6th bell rang, the man cut his own stomach open. This might be stupid of me to ask. What exactly is a daimyo? Because I feel like that might help me out a little bit. But, like, okay, I was gonna say the Ever-Burning Lantern kind of seemed like a vague connection. But Whispering Canal, the Toki Love to Fish, maybe the Toki's mother went to look for him and never came back because she was doing her thing and got killed. I would assume the Evergreen might have... Maybe I was wrong about the name being connected and just got lucky with that. I don't think this really brought up the wife. Why did I think... Did anything have the name of Como in it? Because I feel like that was... I recognize that. The Clappers, he was the fire. What? Exactly. All of these... Out of all of these... The, Fool's Procession, I guess I'm not seeing the connection. Omio stood atop the tall festival. Some of the other... girls saw her as a teacher's pet, bullied her. I'll use this chance to make something of myself. Call me Mask. Stage was set. I can't take my mask off. They carried her but with glue instead of pig's blood. So that's how it is. I knew it was too good to be true. Her screams were drowned out by the music as she squirmed and struggled. This one seems kind of disconnect to me. Like, I don't know, she screams. I guess it sounds like maybe she didn't have any breath left in her. Like no, like, nose holes, the glue or whatever. I'm not really positive on that. Beckoning light, we know, is, we know this is Shiman. It was all her doing. No, the blame laid on him and his inexperience. He had foolishly involved himself in the forbidden. Okay. Well. We play as Iro now? Was that the best we could have done with that ending? Sorry for keeping you out so late, Mio. I can't take my mind off the curse bearer who was never found. Well, yeah, I guess we still have the so it thought, so maybe we're all gonna die here. Oh, it's no problem for me. I usually work at night anyways. Did you see Yako home safely? Yep, sent her home in a patrol car earlier. Apparently she put up quite a fuss saying she wanted to see things through to the end. Thank you. The Feast of Shadows was starting to take effect, so it would have been dangerous. We're back here at night. That means there's a sticker. I don't know where the sticker would be. Also kind of crazy to be Iro. So much has happened this evening, but it's still not over. We haven't found the curse bearer of the Whispering Canal, and we still have to put a stop to these curses. "8 p.m. With no one around. This place is silent as the grave. No one wants to go out at night in these parts after everything that's happened over the past 2 days." Fair enough. Mockingbird number 20 discovered. Definitely missed a couple of them. I'll have to go back because we've gotten a lot. Approaching the net. I have no idea what that would be. Was there like a basketball court at the school at any point? Among the morning green. I guess that would have been early. Like when it was morning time. In the bright garden. Intersection. I probably just missed it. Budgie Mary. I think we're just gonna talk to Mio. Oh. What's wrong? Next is Detective Iro? What? Yeah, what? I can't get my mind off the remaining curse stones, the Whispering Canal, and... Are you the mastermind, Mio? And who the mastermind is. But we have to deal with the thing before I can worry about any of that. I mean, she knows about the Feast of Shadows. I don't remember how she got that information to begin with. How's it going with the 2 talismans? Have you figured out the location of the Record of Fate's Yin Scroll? I have, more or less. Sorry, I was trying to think of something. When I combined the contents of the 2 talismans, they formed a seal which could be undone. The things inside the talismans that looked like scraps of wood were actually a tiny scroll kept folded up by the seal. Who'd have thought the talismans actually contained the scroll itself? So that's the Yin Scroll then. What's it say? Well, there's one more seal we have to undo to open the scroll. It's given me some trouble, so I was actually hoping you could help me out. Okay, unlocking the seal. Got it. Sure thing. I don't know what I'll be able to do, but let me add it. Wow, I didn't expect you to be so eager to help. It's oddly reassuring. Okay, let's see. There are 5 seals holding the scroll shut. I think we have to remove them in the correct order. Each seal has a different design. A carp, a light, a beech leaf, a taiko drum, and a reed. Remove the 5 seals in the right order. Okay. If we get it wrong, is it going to, you know, go boom? Huh? No, we'll just have to try again. I tested it once already. Oh, you already tried it yourself? So brave. Could have exploded on you, Mio. I think it's devised so the seal can only be undone if the curses for the rite have already been unleashed. And I think there's a hint to opening it hidden in something related to the curses. Just let me know when you're ready. Well, I don't imagine just looking... The carp, I would assume, is the canal, then? Consult with Mio. It won't explode or anything, so we might as well give it a try. I see, okay. Remove the 5 seals in the correct order. I mean... Are you saying that... Okay, I see what you mean. So, actually, I was already going through this a little bit. The order of events, right? He was found dead, the beech leaf. Might want to double check the drum. I think Simon would have been the last just because he sealed it, so these had to have happened in that order. Well, the light might actually be the beckoning, not the beckoning. I was gonna say the beckoning light, but is this one, but if this is going to be the lantern instead, to follow that order. It would have to start with the beach. Do we know when exactly the... Not persons of interest. Files. Like, obviously they went missing. Concern eventually stopped visiting her out of fear. All alone. She left her home trudging along the road until night fell. Neither her mother nor father were anywhere to be found. Tears stung her eyes. Suddenly the sound of fish splashing in the water cut through the silence. She found herself standing before the canal where they used to fish together. The taste of carp and the memory of her father's smile flashed across her mind without thinking. Coco walked into the moat. The sound of water splashing echoed throughout the night. Passersby thought of it only as the fish in the canals. The order of this isn't exactly clear on that one. I mean, why would you call it the Seal of Light? I can fail it. I know I can fail it, but like... so let me reread this real quick. How long has it been since we started hearing them each day? Could it be coming from the Daimo's residence? I've heard they have a drum in their fire watch tower instead of wooden clackers. But I don't see a fire, so why are they sounding a drum? Then one morning a body was found. Isn't that old man Kanzo the Yukoi painter? He lived nearby, but he had been down and out for years, despite his best effort to sell his works. Every now and then, his granddaughter would visit, and he would teach her to paint. It was the old man's only pleasure. One day, his granddaughter told him about her dreams. Hearing her tale, the old man was gripped by sudden zeal and began to paint with great fervor. His work quickly became famous, enchanting all those who viewed the strange imagery. Even the daimyo had taken notice. What could possibly have happened? The people whispered amongst each other. He had been beaten like a drum. So that doesn't really have an order to it either. And I think there's a hint to opening it in somewhere related to the curses. Actually, the drum, I think, would be the first one, maybe? Because his paintings went to the daimyo, which I think led to... Oh, God, I need to stop going to persons of interest. Which led to, This is wrong. The clappers had... Why is no one coming? I'm gonna burn. How did it come to this? That vixen who appeared and enchanted my lord, that witch, those haunting cold eyes, and my lord dancing in the palm of her hand. How many innocent people did I lure in under orders? This must be karma. The sound of a heavy bell. It feels like my head will split open. Alright, the evening bell. That must be why nobody can hear the sound of my clappers. I've got to do it louder. Clack, clack. The... lantern... was bells, right? Or maybe this was from the read mentioned it. By the time he returned... Airs of a woman mourning... Somewhere there was a bell mention. One decided to bring her newfound knowledge to the daimyo, much to his alarm. No. My husband hanged himself. What is he hunting for? Maybe I should just do some answers and see what happens. Yeah, so... Wrong. I don't think that was right. Nope, no good. Can we talk about it a little bit, though? Do you recognize any of the things on these seals? They look sort of familiar. Maybe there'd be something in our files. I see. Okay. No, I get it. Anything else? I must be a little bit dense on this. Fuck. The correct order. Like, the order of events, I'm assuming. Unless if the... I'm gonna do the same thing, except for the light is going to be the last one, because it might still be, Simon. The drum I'm not sure about. No. I don't think that was right. Nope, no good. Oh, fuck, man. Toki loved fishing with her father, Jinketsu, more than anything. With her wicked basket and their back, they would leave the canal every morning and fish all evening. The miso soap her father... Her mother, Koma. Wait. The mother Koma is there, but I still think that ends up being this, right? Oh, Koma? What does the O mean in, as far as the naming convention? So the name was there somewhere, okay. I could have swore I, like, saw something similar about the mother. The miso soup her mother made using carp they caught was to die for. Her parents loved her dearly. One day, however, her father disappeared. Toki's mother went to look for him and never came back either. Those who came to express their concerns eventually stopped visiting her out of fear. She continued to wait all alone. Where did you go? Don't leave me behind. Unable to bear her loneliness, she left her home and trudged along the roads until night fell. Neither her mother nor father was anywhere to be found. Tears stung her eyes. Suddenly, the sound of fish splash in the water cut through the silence. She found herself standing before the canal where they used to fish together. The taste of carp and the memory of her father's smile flashed across her mind. Without thinking, Toki walked into the moat, and the sound of water splashing echoed through the night air. So, I mean, we know that this is night. So that might be the thing I need to know. By silvery moonlight near the bridge, it is a man hunched over near death with regret carved in his face. Visions of the past flashed to his eyes. A young couple and their daughter, but he has lost everything. He had repaid the kindness shown to him with evil. The regret gnaws at him now. It is too late to undo it. His mind turned to the Onmyoji woman. It was all her doing. No, the blame laid with him and his inexperience. He had foolishly involved himself with the forbidden, inviting evil into his life. I should have left the Rite of Resurrection well enough alone. The light of the man's life begins to fade as regret and anger washes over him in turn. If only I had accomplished it in the end. Alas, it's too late for that now. I am prepared for hell. Perhaps in another life I can fulfill my dreams. Even if this body perishes, I can atone for my sins. Okay, so Evergreen then. The man who tricked the people with his false dark art swings from a rope. They thought the man had escaped the previous night, but oddly enough, he was found hanging in the garden of Daimyo Mansion that morning. Has to start with you. I think it has to end with the carp. So maybe that's all it is just finding the time frame. The night air. How long has it been since we started hearing them each day? Had a drum in their fire crack, but I don't see the fire. Then one morning a body was found. Would you say the morning a body was found counts as a thing? Because like saying the body was found in the morning is not the same as the girl walking into the river at night and dying. Help me out? Thank you. You're giving me the really obvious things. The seals look like some of the Cursed Stone's designs. That must mean there's some order to the Seven Mysteries of Honjo that corresponds to them. I see. Okay. Mio, please. How many times can I get it wrong before she gives me, like, a better hint? I want to say I think there's just one thing that's causing me issues here, but I could be completely off course. I mean, so I don't think the time is as important as, like, order of events. So I need to figure out why this guy, then. I don't see a fire. So why would, Clapper be on fire? Sound of a heavy bell. The evening bell. But, okay, but the clappers isn't really any of these, right? They're besides the light potentially being two, they're all pretty obvious. I don't think the carp can be anything but the Whispering Canal and then Drum Reed Beach. Okay. I don't think that was right. Nope, no good. For a second, I thought it was, gonna be right, and I was gonna be confused. Seal was applied during the Edo period, so it's probably has to do with the events that took place around then. I see, I do! This guy. I know we had yeah, the incident. I mean, it's a chain of events. That has to be what it is. I just need to... I'm getting it so wrong. I guess technically Taiko would be the beginning because of the paintings, right? Potentially. I mean, like, really, the only thing I can think of is that this is the beginning of things because of the paint of the Curses and Souls Resurrection seems to be what kind of stirred everything up. So then, I would assume the canal has to be like the thing that happens after the mother and father are dead, because I think a big problem too is a lot of this stuff is like a couple of days worth of time. So I think with the Whispering Canal, it mentions that she's... like, people just don't talk to her, like, they of whispers, because the father was blamed for something, and then the mom is just gone. I mean, it says light, so I would assume this has to be the last one. Maybe I can get another hint. I think I did this before, though. Maybe I didn't. Oh, that was it. Wow, you got it right. It opened. God, I got it wrong so many times, though, Mio. The drum one, it really was the one that was confusing me, though. It took 4 tries, but you did it. Shut up, Mio. Can we restart the chapter real quick, Mio? I just needed some time to get warmed up, that's all. I like that she actually, keeps track. Now we can finally read what's written inside. Let's see, I need to look. I thought I tried that option. Because oh, file update. The last things. Record of Fate Yin Scroll. It is said that Simon Tsuchimikado, author of the Record of Fates, wrote the Yin Scroll because he feared that the descendants of those involved in the Honjo incident might become cursed and used in the collection of soul drugs for the Rite of Resurrection. The existence of the Yin Scroll was indicated in a postscript added to the Record of Fates, but its whereabouts are currently unknown. It is believed to have been inherited by a descendant of Simon. The text has been preserved in the form of 2 talismans held by Hajime Yashima and Michio Shiraishi. It contains a full account of the Honjo incident, and the following is written in Simon's hand. I bequeath this scroll to future generations to be used in the event the calamity should arise from the grievous incident. Those who seek to forestall disaster must gather these 3 items in one place to cast my rite of cleansing and expel all rituals and curses in full. My soul, that is my curse echo. My body, that is a living conduit of my bloodline, continuation of my bloodline. My spirit, that is my own consciousness. Well, we know the curse echo is the beckoning light. We can't do the... There has to be someone else then, because we can't do the body, because everyone that is related to him died before the night. And in my own consciousness, I have no idea what that means. This is the story that takes place... Alright, this will be long. Oh, this will be really long, but it's important, because some of the events I don't quite understand, and the drum part really confused me. This is the story that takes place late Edo period. There was once a family that lived in a row house in Honjo. The family consisted of the Nitsuke craftsman named Junkicho, that is the beech tree, his wife Koma, the reed, and their daughter Toki, Whispering Canal. They enjoyed a poor but happy existence. One day they took in a man by the name of who claimed to be a Shimoji. He was on the run, having barely escaped with his life from something or another, and wound up in Honjo. The tough circumstances had left him sick and destitute. Jinkechi felt sorry for the man and decided to shelter him, assuming that's Simon, so that's the beckoning light. The stranger was deeply grateful for the kindness and care of Jinkechi's family. as without it, he would have surely died, and told him thusly on the day of his departure, "I want to give you my thanks, but unfortunately I have nothing of value." He paused and asked, "Is there anyone you want to bring back to life?" Turns out the man's true name was Shimikado Simon, a descendant of renowned Onmyoji, and he had been researching the fabled Rite of Resurrection. For his crime in unearthing this forbidden rite, was chased out by his family, but he wrote down everything about the spell in a book he named the Record of Fates, while on the run. Whoever sought to perform the rite would need to kill people and gather their soul dregs. Simon had only researched the rite out of the spirit of inquiry, but thought himself willing to use the rite if it was for the sake of Jinkechi's family. However, Jinkechi shook his head. "Sacrificing someone is unthinkable. We didn't help you because we wanted something in return, so you owe us nothing," he said, declining the unbelievable offer. Simon bowed his head in gratitude countless times at those words and left their house. In the same area, there lived an ukiyo-e artist known as the Old Man Kanzo. The drum, his art didn't sell much, but he often looked after Toki while Jinkechi and Toma were out working. So that's kind of what I assumed. Granddaughter might have been Toki, or it could have been the bad emoji, but they were related. Young Toki heard Simon, and this all makes sense why these would be the seals, because Simon felt his regret towards like the family that was on his beckoning light one. A young young Toki heard Simon talk about the Rite of Resurrection, but being too young to comprehend it, regaled it to the Old Man Kanzo as a story of fiction. Oh, so because of that, and because the Lord, whatever his name is, took interest in it, but it wasn't correct because it was from a young girl. That's why it like failed, and people blamed him for it and like hung him. Old Man Kanzo, inspired by the story and filled with renewed vigor, put his heart and soul into his next painting. The piece, centered around the theme of resurrection, became an instant hit in town. Jinkechi, being a shrewd businessman, saw an opportunity and jumped on the bandwagon by carving Netsuku connected to Old Man Kanzo's ukiyo-e. He made up stories about his Netsuke, telling the people that their blessings were connected to resurrection, and his business rapidly flourished. Never mind, Jinkechi actually did just do it. He did, like, involve himself. That man unknowingly left us a wonderful gift, thought Jinkechi and his family, but they were unaware of the tragedy that would soon unfold. Before long, word of Old Man Kanzo's wonderful ukiyo-e reached the ears of the local daimyo, and he was summoned to the Lord's residence. But what awaited him was not praise, but cruel torture at the hands of Ashino, a female onmyoji who was in pursuit of Simon. It was her who pressured Simon into researching the Rite of Resurrection, which she secretly planned to use to preserve her beauty for all eternity. Ashino took advantage of the fact that the daimyo's heart was weak and frail following the loss of his family, and manipulated him into capturing Old Man Kanzo, the source of the recent rumors about resurrection. Tell me where you heard of the Rite of Resurrection, Ashino demanded as the brutal beatings continued. It was said that this eerie sound of the beatings rang out like the beating of a taiko drum, night after night, reaching even the watchtower of the Tsugaru residence. He probably wouldn't have ratted out his granddaughter, and they would have still pursued his family, even if he didn't say anything. In the end, Ashino's cruel torture secured her the information on Jinkechi's family and the existence of the Record of Fates. Never mind, he squealed like a pig. The daimyo sent his chief retainer to bring in Jinkechi, and the torture resumed afresh with the new captive. This time she intended to obtain the whereabouts of Simon and the location of the Record of Fates. Jinkechi didn't know where Simon went, but even if he did, he had no intention of telling and stubbornly kept his mouth shut. I guess this also explains why the Kono was also a target that was mentioned in her thing. Stubbornly kept his mouth shut. The torture was pushed too far, and Jinkechi was unintentionally killed before he spoke a word. The daimyo had Jinkechi's corpse hang from a beech tree and declared that, unable to bear the guilt of the crime of deceiving the masses with false rumors of resurrection, Jinkechi had committed suicide. This too was all part of Ashino's plan to send a message to the common folk, especially the increasing number of those who sought out the right for themselves. News of what happened to Jinkechi spread, and people lost interest in the rite, wondering if the stories of resurrection were all but a lie. The rumors that the daimyo's word was perhaps not all that truthful spread quickly when a dancer claimed to have witnessed the chief retainer's cold-blooded handiwork firsthand, and that Honjo fell into unrest once again. When a dancer claimed to have witnessed the chief's retainer's cold-blooded handiwork firsthand. That would have been the, Fool's Procession, right? The chief retainer arrested the girl and proposed a deal to put a stop to the rumors. The girl was to say she just wanted attention and retract her story by saying it was entirely made up. In exchange, she would be given the most wondrous stage to perform on. Okay, there was a lot of that story that we did not get from the Seven Mysteries blurb. So basically why everyone was like shit-talking her was because she said like, oh, never mind, I'm just a rumor causer. But then they still killed her with whatever that glue means, which they'll say. The girl was to say she just wanted attention and retract her story by saying it was entirely made up. In exchange, she would be given the most wondrous stage to perform on, but when the day came, she was suffocated by the mask prepared for the performance. So yeah, it was suffocation. Unbeknownst to her, the mask had been covered in glue as part of the plan to kill and silence her. And that's why she said, so that's how it is. Because she realized, oh, they still wanted to get rid of her. Yeah, that was a sneaky story. Koma never believed for a moment that her husband, Jinkechi, had committed suicide. She was certain someone was behind his death and asked around persistently for the name, addresses, and any other information she could find on people with connections to the daimyo. The chief retainer would not allow things to escalate any further and had Tomizo, a ronin who once served as a spy, go after her. However, she turned the table on him, shouting, "It was you who killed my husband, wasn't it?" Confronted with the accusation, Tomizo flew into a blind rage and cut Koma down in broad daylight. Ordered to take responsibility for his failure by committing seppuku, he exposed the daimyo's plot as he disemboweled himself by the lantern of the soba cart used to give code signals. Okay. He was ordered to take responsibility. Didn't it? I think the thing said he refused before, but this is a real story. By the lantern of the soba cart used to give code signals. Or I guess it's different than seppuku, he just disemboweled himself, right? Is that what it is? With both her parents gone through means unbeknownst to her, Toki found herself to be all alone one day late at night. She went searching for her parents and met her doom, falling into the canal where she drowned. Meanwhile, the chief retainer had made no headway whatsoever in finding Simon's whereabouts, and an incensed Ashino decided to set fire to his residence, burning him alive, just for fun. Like, he couldn't find Simon, and she was like, fuck you. In truth, all those connected by these events thus far were cursed by Ashino so that their souls would turn into soul drugs upon death, which she had been collecting. I guess that's also why, to make them soul drugs. She burned his house down. All she needed to perform the rite now was to get her hands on the Record of Fates. Sensing that there was something serious at work behind the recent strings of strange events in Honjo, Simon returned to find he was too late. He broke down in tears when he learned of the unfortunate and unnatural deaths Jinkechi's family had met. Simon realized it was the handiwork of Ashino when he found their soul drugs had been collected, and decided he had to prevent any further sacrifices from happening by confronting her on Hoanji Bridge. What ensued was a fierce battle of spells that endured till the break of dawn, though those who did not know any better only saw what they believed to be eerie flashes and supernatural orbs of light. At the end of the long battle, Ashino defeated Simon and obtained the Record of Fates, but he had placed a curse upon her foot. Ashino dragged her foot, corrupted and horribly inflamed, and sought refuge at the nearby residence of a retainer and angrily demanded they wash her foot. Ashino died then and there, filled with agony and her foot cursed and rotten. Simon, too, having sustained serious wounds during their fight, died that day on a Hoanji Bridge, still filled with regret. However, Simon came back to life. Knowing that there would be enough soul dregs in place during their confrontation, he had prepared a spell that would activate the Rite of Resurrection upon his passing. Feeling that his curiosity was responsible for the terrible tragedy that had unfolded, he was left with a keen understanding of why the Rite of Resurrection was forbidden and became determined to seal it away. Indeed, the reason he'd resurrected himself was for that very purpose. However, he did not know that what had become of the Record of Fates. With nothing to seal away, he instead used the remaining soul drugs to turn 9 of the Netsuke made by Jinkechi into ritual implements to be sealed away in Honjo. He placed a spell so that should someone try to activate the Rite of Resurrection again, all 9 pieces will awaken at once. And to pass the whole truth of these events to future generations, he wrote everything down in the Record of Fate Yin scroll and passed it down his descendants. Meanwhile, the townspeople kept silent about the incidents out of fear of being cursed. However, these occurrences were so strange that gossip about it couldn't truly be contained. Over time, the details became more and more vague as the stories grew into legends, and that is how they came to be called the Seven Mysteries of Honjo. So, I'd say I mostly got a good gist of it on my own. Just the drum got me real confused. But I should have expected that, like, oh, the drawing these paintings of resurrection led to events transpiring. Everything else was a lot more straightforward, and then the light was the beckoning light and not the lantern. So I think that was everything, because I think the Yin Scroll was new. No? That one just refreshed. We still have 23? Damn, I wonder if I missed it. It might be... What is it in? Culture? If it's culture, it might be something I just didn't see. It's phenomenons and curses? Gameplay? Maybe it doesn't show until you actually unlock it. Alright, whatever. Let's continue. I got distracted. That was a long read, but we needed that history lesson. I see. What does it say? First is a detailed account of the tragedies surrounding the Rite of Resurrection that occurred in Honjo back in the Edo period. The whole story of what we call the Honjo incident is laid out clearly. That incident was the origin of the Seven Mysteries of Honjo and their curses, right? Yes, the resentment of the victims of the incident turned into curses, which are the curse echoes. The contents are organized like an answer sheet, so it doesn't just give us the information we need. Ah. Is there anything else? Yes, here's what we've been looking for. I bequeath the scroll to future generations to be used in the event the calamity should arise from this grievous incident, it says. Whoa, he foresaw all of this happening? And it continues. Those who seek to forestall disaster must gather these 3 items in one place to cast my rite of cleansing and expel all rituals and curses in full. My soul, that is my curse echo. My body, that is a living continuation of my bloodline. My mind, that is my own consciousness. Wow, so if we gather these 3 things in one place, Simon's Rite of Cleansing will activate and completely negate the curses and the Rite of Resurrection. Ooh, that's it! That's exactly what we need! The 3 things are Simon's soul, body, and mind. It says the soul is Simon's curse echo. His curse echo, so Simon himself is part of the Seven Mysteries? Now that you mention it, Mr. Arashi said something along those lines before. There's another hint written here. My curse echo holds my curse. My curse brings ruin to curse bearers. Oh, it just straight up tells you. What kind of hint is that? Maybe it'd make more sense as we keep looking. Will the curse echo still appear if the curse bearer is already gone? Will the curse echo still appear if the curse bearer is already gone? Next to body is a descendant of Simon's, it seems. Wasn't Yoshimi a relative of Simon? He and Michio Shiriashi, who had the other talisman. Ah, both of them had already passed by the time this iteration of the curses was unleashed. Damn, that's true. What are we gonna do? His bloodline was so split up, there have to be others. Oh, there's another note here too. Where? Is it another hint? As for the body, seek not only one who bears my blood, but one with strong spirit sense. Okay, well, I had an inclination, but that... So it has to be Shogo then. Such an individual will be able, if a spirit attempts to possess them, to instead take control of that spirit themselves. So Shogo would have been able to, if a spirit tried to possess him, they would take control of that spirit instead. So it says. Do we know of anyone like that? I can't think of anyone. Let's move on for now. Next is the mind. What's the difference between the mind and the soul? In paranormal theory, it's said that humans are made up of soul, body, and mind. The mind is essentially thought to be the part of the spirit that makes up one's consciousness, or one's self. It's like driving. The body is the car, the soul is the control system, and the mind is the driver. I see. I think that makes sense. So is there a hint for finding this one too? Well, let's see. There's this. Should the Rite of Resurrection be activated elsewhere, so too shall my mind be awakened there. Simon tried to seal away the Rite of Resurrection, but before he could, Ashino stole the Record of Fates. So as a countermeasure to the rite being activated, he made it so that his mind would be released from the seal. Okay, but what does that actually mean? What it means is, Simon's mind awoke the night the rite was activated and must be possessing someone out there right now. What? So we have to get that person together with everything else. Alright, so we have to find the curse echo, the descendant, and the person possessed by Simon. Then we just get them together in one place and we'll be good to go. Right, but there is one thing. The second and third ones could both be the same person. Oh. But who could that be? If it's like how Michio lost her memories when she was possessing Yako, Simon's consciousness might not be aware of who it really is. So if he learned the truth, would he start to act of his own accord? Oh, then that person could already be... Oh, hold on a second. Someone's coming this way. Huh? Excuse me, could I interrupt for just a moment? I knew you were a punk all along. Who might you be? Would you buy this empty can of juice I just finished drinking for 1,000 yen? Huh? I'll even throw in these bones from some fried chicken. You can't beat a deal like this. I don't really want them. Don't say that. Come on, they're delicious. Actually, I thought I might just have a picnic right here. Won't you join me? Sorry, I don't understand. What should we do? Well, it's not like we need this exact spot, and we can't do anything with other people around. Let's just move somewhere else. Don't do it, Iro! Also, you guys are looking for one more cursed, like, stone. Iro, you fucked up! Sorry, we're in the middle of something, so we'll just be on our way. Wow, it hurts. This is a curse. So she has to be a Shino then. So I was fucking right. Alright, so bad end. So if we have to... So Shogo woke up in a daze. He's possessed by Simon. And for some reason, the beckoning light was in the, when was it? It was when we were talking to what's-his-face from the bath company. So I would assume that's where we need to go to do this thing. And then the good news with that is that it would lead to no one else having to die. You have my heartfelt thanks for all your hard work thus far. This brings the story of the Seven Mysteries of Honjo to a close. And who could have foreseen such a conclusion? Unfortunately, it seems this so-called mastermind was one step ahead of you. She remains hidden, leaving behind no evidence. Perhaps there is truly no way to stop her. However, should you find that this conclusion is not to your liking, by all means, please pursue a different path. You have done it once before, so I am sure you already know how. With that, I shall be taking my leave. I have been your humble storyteller. Good night. Yeah, we don't really have anything else to go off of this. So was Yoko faking it? It would be this one. I think start from talking to Takumi. Yeah, because it's here. Huh? The hell is that? It looks like a light floating in midair. Do I think? If I want to use my curse on him, I have to get him to walk away and leave me behind. That's all the normal stuff. Was it there earlier? Yen scroll. I feel like it wouldn't be me having to talk to you. It's your curse, I was responsible. I only found this after Yoko died. Oh. Don't play dumb, I know you're the one who did this. At the stroke of midnight. No point in continuing this conversation. So yeah, stroke of midnight. Oh, it got closer. Maybe this is what I needed. Well, it's coming closer. This is another one of the Seven Mysteries. Looks like a will-o-wisp, maybe. Was there anything like this in the Seven Mysteries? Yeah, touch it. Huh? Am I supposed to touch it? We're in the middle of a conversation. This is very rude of you. The third ending. Okay. Cleansing. When the body, soul, and mind of Simon have all been brought together, the rite of cleansing is activated, dispelling all rituals and curses have previously been performed. So, how... Is there any way for us to really know that Shogo is related besides the, fact that we got the hint that he had high spirit energy? My. Finally, you have arrived at this juncture. I expected no less from you. That would mean that you have managed to bring everything to light. Though there is the possibility that you have wound up here by chance. So before I take you any further, I must ask you a number of questions. About what exactly the soul, body, and mind of Simon Tsuchimikado are. Firstly, which curse echo represents the soul of Simon Tsuchimikado, beckoning light? Yes, that is exactly it. After his defeat at the hands of Ashino in the Honjo incident, Simon wandered about near Hoanji. The form of his curse echo changed over time with the legend he left behind. This is the curse echo which was acquired by Mayu Chizawa. But when called forth by Simon's body and mind, it appeared momentarily before him. That makes sense then, why it showed up here. Let us continue. Who served as the self of Simon Shumikado, who was his body, his descendant, well, Shogo. We basically have that just because we're him. correct again. Although Shogo Okiie was born to an ordinary family, the blood of a distant relative ran thick in his veins. In truth, the same is true for Yoko Fukunaga. She was also one who had the blood of a distant relative coursing through her. In her case, it was Ashino. I mean, I knew all along that these two freaks were going to get involved again somewhere in the plot, but I didn't think it was just going to be coming back and being like, actually, they were super important. Simon and Ashino, fated to meet again all these hundreds of years later. Now, for my final question. Who is the mind of Simon Tsuchimikado? Tell me the name of the person whose consciousness was directly tied to his. What, Shit, we're all the way back here. I want to... What would... Mio said something. Mio said, like, we were... And that's a little leading on what I just said there. Mio said that the mind was like the driver, and it's been sporadic, but we've had control over the situation. Me? Oh, I see. You believe it to be me? I'm afraid that is not. That it is not. The answer to this is most important, so please answer me once more. I'm gonna try one more thing. Because I forgot. Can this be easier for me? I forgot that he did ask us our name, and that never mattered. I don't think it was even in, like, save files or anything. Although you'd think it would have been. Oh, I see. You believe it to be Rogue? Are you saying you believe it to be yourself? Yeah, that's what I meant when I said me. Are you certain? Yes, you are correct. Finally, you have remembered. So I was supposed to be Simon this whole time. That's right, you are. Simon's consciousness, awoken by the curses and the Rite of Resurrection. Dude can go between people, because he also... Technically speaking, we controlled those other people. However, having lost your memories, you forgot about the duty assigned to you. Did we technically? I'm trying to think. With Mayu, we had more control than ever, and that made sense because we had the beckoning light as Mayu. Everyone else was mostly just them making a choice in dialogue options. Or, like, Michio choices with possession. So that might have been, like, not really us being in control. I don't know if they would have counted those dialogue options or the, like, bad end split paths to be that. Like, maybe Storyteller will tell us. This is, if I may say so, where I played my part, guiding you through the events of this story. As your consciousness was all that was left of you, you manipulated time and space by way of the story chart, jumping from vessel to vessel, so we were jumping from those vessels, and manipulating your host's actions by whispering commands into their ears. In doing so, you were able to get the full picture of what needed to be done. But at one point, while still unconscious, you managed to remember your duty. The so-called mastermind behind these events, the one who awakened the Rite and the curses, was Yoko Fukunaga, descendant of Ashino herself. You unconsciously activated your curse and killed her. Right. Okay, so that's why she died by the Whispering Canal without ever us having it. How interesting that she awakened Simon's consciousness at the same time as the curses. That was the one and only time she could have been stopped. Ah, but due to your influence on Shogo Okiie's will, Yoko Fukunaga was brought back to life, using the story chart to undo her death. I led you to believe that it was the work of the Rite of Resurrection itself. But as it turns out, seeing what would transpire if the mastermind was not killed at the outset is what ultimately revealed a way to put an end to the curses for good. There were certain things which could have answered all your questions had you noticed them. For example, even while under your control, Shogo Okiie willingly used his curse. Right, and I think that was what you were trying to tell me, that I fumbled the first time around. But I did notice, because I never pressed the button except for the first time when it didn't tell me what the button did. It just said press instead of curse. When I asked you earlier how many Shogo Okiie had killed, this is what I meant. Had you not used the curse, Shogo Okiie would have done so of his own accord. Furthermore, Mayu Chizawa was able to recall information which only you knew. She was able to do this because she was connected to you through her curse echo, the beckoning light. Okay. Following graduation, Yoko worked a desk job at a trading company, but butted heads with her supervisor, who was skeptical of the supernatural, and quit within a year. Now, while working as a housekeeper, she spends her days... Okay, that was all the names. Same stuff. Wait, so was her dog... Was Ogo Pogo never involved? In truth, Yoko is a descendant of Onmyoji, who continues to practice in modern times. Her ancestor, Ashino, attempted to steal the Rite of Resurrection in Honjo during the Edo period. Born with exceptional spirit sense, Yoko learned about her own ancestry while researching her roots, and was disappointed to find her bloodline had fallen into mediocrity. She became consumed with the ambition to restore her family's lost glory through her own powers, and devised a scheme to succeed where Ashino failed and performed the Rite of Resurrection. Yoko continued her training, developed her spiritual and curse powers until she discovered the Record of Fates, which offered clues regarding the rite. She plotted to use the curse of the Seven Mysteries of Honjo to gather a large number of soul dregs by calling forth curse echoes and setting the stage for mutual slaughter. The ultimate plan involved invoking a large-scale feast of shadows, awakening the curses, performing the rite herself, and bringing together enough soul dregs to revive Ashino. Okay, that makes sense. That would have been the actual goal. Since the effects of the curses increases the more people know and fear them, she first entrusted the Record of Fates to local historian Hideki Arashi, who would be used to easily spread the rumors. She also contacted Fumachika Najima, a criminal with a deep understanding of mystic arts, to obtain the cursed stones needed to gather soul dregs. Unsurprisingly, Najima was very interested in the story of Ashino and readily agreed to aid his revival. Ashino readily agreed to aid his revival. Okay. While carrying out these steps, Yuko learned of the existence of the Yin Scroll, which threatened to thwart her plans. She added a note about the scroll in the Record of Fates before giving it to Arashi, intending to acquire it before it could pose an issue. Through her investigations, Yoko discovered that Hajime Yoshimi was a descendant of Simon and threatened him with a curse in an effort to scare him into revealing the whereabouts of the Yin Scroll. While Hajime bravely resisted Yoko's threats, she killed him with the curse to ensure Simon's descendants would not stand in her way. As her preparations were coming together, Yoko obtained the seemingly less dangerous curse stone of the Whispering Canal in order to become a curse bearer, the necessity for gathering the curse stones for the Feast of Shadows. Shogo Okiie, also a descendant of Simon, was eyed as a potential risk factor and was contacted to ensure he would be located nearby and subject to monitoring. However, unaware that the spirit of Simon would be awakened within Shogo as soon as she invoked the curse, Yoko's plan was thwarted when she was immediately cursed to death by Simon. So Michio was just a coincidence, like a happened to happen, like, casualty with all the fucked up shit. how did Yoko know that Shogo was a descendant? And not just use like a normal curse to try to kill him, like with Hajime, so there wasn't any issues. Now, allow me to ask you one last question. If you, knowing all that you know now, had the ability to resurrect one life, what would you do? I'd use it even if I had to sacrifice myself. I'd use it even if I had to sacrifice someone. I'd use it if it came at no cost. I wouldn't want it. Let someone else have it. I wouldn't want it. I would destroy it. I mean, that's what we're here for right now at this very moment, is to destroy it, right? Oh, I see, I see. That was Simon's original intention. I apologize for leaving it out of the options when I first asked you this question. Now, it is time to bring things to a close. Upon your arrival here, the Rite of Cleansing was activated, dispelling all other rituals and curses. Look upon the fruits of your efforts. And then we shall leave this world behind for good. We're not leaving it for good. I need to find 4 more stickers. Thank you truly for all the work you have done. I probably should have tried to do that before I came here, but I was a little too excited to see what would happen. So what's Yoko gonna do? Yeah. That's what happened? I can't believe it. Oh, no, she's still dead. I finally understand. Okay, fair enough, I guess. Yeah, I was the one who did that to Yoko. Right, because this is when we did the cleansing, so she could never be alive. The blood of the Onmyoji that's inside me broke into my consciousness and gave me that curse. Yoko was after the Rite of Resurrection. She was the one who awakened the curses of the 7 Mysteries and cast the Feast of Shadows. Man, a lot of that information just flooding into Shogo here. And the only way to stop all of it was to put a stop to her here. Otherwise, the Rite of Cleansing might have been negated too. I guess that's what the storyteller was saying as well, that like it had to be this timeline. I wonder how much of it was really her doing all those things. Which is a shame because Yoko might have been a little bit possessed, was like what Mio was getting behind. Yoko. I guess that explains why I felt like it was fate when this all started. Though she didn't seem to notice. I guess things were always destined to end like this from the moment we met. I wish we could have met under different circumstances. No point in thinking like that now. God, I need a drink. Wait, I'm thinking a Moscow Mule, or 2, or 3. Where'd what's-his-face go? Well, everyone's alive that should be at this point. But are these guys gonna, like, figure out what happened to her son, like, the events? Ma'am, what is it? Oh, is everyone that was a, vessel at some point gonna just get all of the memories flooding in? Ah, just a dream. Seems that it was all just a dream. I dreamt that there was such a thing as the Rite of Resurrection. Just a dream. I'm sorry to say it, but there isn't. Right, of course not. But even if there is no such thing, I promise you that I will get to the bottom of the kidnapping. In fact, I've happened to find a very important lead from over a year ago. Something that's evaded our reach until now, an eyewitness from the scene of the kidnapping. I see. I mean, they followed a good line of reasoning without curse stuff, so I think Richter would get to it. Oh, dead body. Where'd it come from? Whoa, what the hell is this? The medical unit told me to get down here. What happened? I would hope that maybe he reconnects with his daughter and she isn't such a freak anymore. As I was looking into Yoshimi's death at the former Yasuda Gardens, another body was discovered at a different park in the area. Could they be related? Sure looks like it, but Excuse me, we found this among the victim's belongings. Thought you'd want to know. It's a confession that she killed him. What's this? What? What the hell? Boss, look what was in the female victim's address book. Yoshimi's phone number and photo. What? And the picture. There's an X drawn on it. Why would she draw an X on it? Come on, Yoko. There was an X drawn on it and a bunch of weird symbols and a hole where his heart would be. Okay, it was for the curse that killed him. I thought it was just like her saying, yep, I got rid of this guy. X marks the spot. And a hole where his heart would be. No. Do you think, I mean, could this be some kind of curse or something? How many times do I have to tell you not to try to connect everything to the occult? Damn it. Is this a Nakagashi case after all? What was that, boss? Ah, don't worry about it. Make sure you put that photo into evidence. There's no doubt this is related to Yoshimi. Make sure you do a thorough sweep of the area. I'm gonna make a phone call. Got it. Leave it to me. Spend as long as you want on the phone. I don't... What's like Yako's thing gonna be? Is Michio's soul still gonna be an issue here? Mio, it turns out Michio really did die in an accident. Yeah, if we ask around, we might be able to get a little more information. I guess there never really was such a thing as the Rite of Resurrection. Where is this conversation coming from? Was it the ghost saying it was an accident and not, a suicide, I guess? But I did feel like there was a spirit watching over us. Damn it, why? Nothing's happening. I would assume Michio's not able to possess because the cursed stone doesn't get involved to, like, make that connection stronger. And good thing is Yako's not going to go to jail now. So nothing's happening, even though Arashi was told something would happen. Damn it, why? Nothing's happening. But now my contact won't be... No! I should never have believed in this blasted record of fates. Yeah, because Yoko still set up stuff to happen. Can't believe we got, like, Arashi. Like, did we really need to see something? To all of you watching from far, far away. That's you guys, the people watching! The Rite of Resurrection has never existed. Not in any world, not in any time. So I ask you to take the life you hold and move boldly forward, one step at a time. Oh, he wasn't... Shit! Hang on, Iro. I want to get enough evidence for a search warrant. Let him go for now, and I'll follow him. That's the kidnapper? Oh, right, because, Yako as Michio killed him. Yes, I'm the one who did it. So please, help me. She always following me. She's always following me. He's haunted by her. I'm so sorry, Michio. I had no idea. What? Hajime was killed by this Yoko Fukunaga? How can that be? He wasn't the kind of guy who could just be picked off like that. You know that. Yeah, and boss is hiding something. I like that Victor's here. There seems to be some kind of secret hidden in Hajime's family tree. Let me see if I can find out what it is. What are you even doing? I had heard you would be absent today. Is there something you need? Oh, Shogo. Yeah, I guess. Fair enough. Well, I seem to have this spirit sense thing all of a sudden. I know it's the sort of thing our chairwoman doesn't approve of, so I thought I'd mention it. I thought she was into it. You could have called. Didn't think you were the standoffish type. I had to find out from Highway. Oops, sorry, I forgot all about my favorite chief inspector. The hell are you planning? Nothing so heinous as you're thinking. I'm only Makoto Ashimiya after all, nothing but a lowly janitor. How are things with you? You getting along with your daughter? That's crazy that that's just a casual conversation. Well, you know, more or less. She really shouldn't have anything besides just being upset about being adopted. I mean, as good of an ending as you could get. Since, Najima seems chill, I might have been a bit right about, like, the curse stone was just enough to make him go off the deep end. If we're really gonna accept that he's able to just still be the janitor in this ending. I like the game a lot. I don't know if there's really much I have to say about it. There wasn't much gameplay to it. It was very much visual novel read through. It had fun ideas of just playing with, like, menu options and obviously you, the player, being in control that it relied heavily on, and that was kind of the funner stuff, like being able to turn the sound off or, like, saving in a slot to remember Michio. And then, yeah, it came in with the idea of the driver for you and yeah, the name. Which, like, the only reason I really remembered that was because of the fact that I did that test run of the game where I put in, like, a different name than what the name of the account was. Because otherwise I think I would have absolutely forgotten that I named my character. All of the characters in this are really good too. I liked everyone except for Najima, and Ayami is kind of a fucking weirdo. Like, just for the sake of it. I think we are to assume that Ayami was some weird, I don't know, are we to assume that the black magic did actually work? Tatsumi kind of implied that he doesn't really believe it, and there's not really much reason. Like, that thread's kind of just done with once we get to the adopted part. Fucking blows. What happened to Michio was just an accident, and how that somehow got connected to Ayami. Like, Michio was just really a bystander to all of this, which kind of is upsetting. I also kind of wish they would have had some form of conclusion with the other teacher, whatever his fucking name is, since it turned out he was actually just, like, doing terrible things. In a way, I almost feel like, or wish that there was a bit more of a proper conclusion with Yoko. Like a final confrontation in some way. Or at the very least, it was implied that she might have been somewhat possessed by the vengeful spirit of Ashino. It's a shame that Yoko has to be dead, if she potentially might have been not herself. But we just kind of have to casually accept that that's that. Which seems kind of weird to me. Good ending. Another conclusion. Not a lot of branching either. We only really had the fail to escape as a branching path, and then we have a couple of endings at the, you know, near the end of the game. But... oh, File 23 is special. Thank you for playing our game all the way to the very end. We look forward to the day we can present you with another Paranormasight. Sincerely yours, Nakagashi. Man, if only there was another Paranormasight. But until there is, I'm missing some stuff. So, approaching the net. Net was mentioned when chasing after Najima. I am going to try to find these by myself. Among the Morning Green would be, it has to be, like, as morning strikes. in the bright garden. The only time we went to the garden during the day was that time I was looking for it, but I might have missed it. And an intersection, I think, is going to be the hardest one for me, because there's a lot of times we were at the intersection. But, I'm gonna look and hopefully find them. Sorry, I forgot to hit record. I did eventually find it in the garden, Mockingbird number 9, which is, an owl, a cute little owl. Know-it owl. Perfect. It was like, just, yeah, I completely missed it down there while looking around. This is where I thought it was going to be. As far as, like, the chapter, it was Manhunt. The only place I would... I'm gonna try... I tried looking so much at it. Where is it? It's Yako's story. Let's do this. Was where we were hanging out at the intersection. If it's not here, I don't know which... I don't think there were really any other chances we had to look around here. So... But I looked around a lot. Did I really miss it? Fuck. I did miss it. It was, God damn it. I guess I never really looked down. Okay, well... Doing great so far. I'm not so sure about the other ones, though. Now, what was this? 17. Bad Bill. What a name. Alright, so then we're just missing Among the Morning Green, which could be any time in the morning, and approaching the net. I also don't know if there's anything I get from this. Like, if I need to, like, finish the game again. Morning would have started at here, so it's either Tomi's help sorting things out, or any of this could be morning. Oof. Well, I'm assuming it's sorting things out. I forgot to hit the record button again, but I did end up looking up where the stickers were, because I could not find them to save my life. And then I collected them, but forgot to hit record, so preparing for battle is going to be where the net one is. I think I did mention at some point that maybe the net was like a basketball net at the school, but there are goalie nets here for like soccer. That might be what the hint is supposed to be. I'm glad the stickers still remain when you do this. Now, this is also kind of weird because it's like right up on this fence, and I would say it's barely noticeable. But there it is, Mockingbird number 2. This one is Beekaboo, the pre-evolution of Head Hencho. And then back to story chart. I was somewhat right about like just going to the morning, but it was a little bit further ahead of what I was trying to do. We need to go to Life Can Be Tough for the morning green. And definitely select from the location. It's at Midoricho Park. And this one I feel like is a little bit bullshit too, just because it's in the tree. And that's number 7, which is Haiku. The one thing that we are missing here is Richter did say something about it when I did collect it. He said something like, "Nice going, ma'am. That's Haiku. He's one of the rare ones." And Haru was like, "I see. Good job." That being said, that's all done now. We are done with Paranormasight. I don't think there's anything special for collecting all of the birds. I think that was just for fun. And it was fun. I like finding the birds. But yeah, this game was great. I liked every minute of it. It was really fun. I struggled a bit with the history lesson at the very end, but I think I got the handle of most things, and I was wrong about a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff I thought was red herrings were actually just what they were at face value, and that kind of caused some issues. But other than that, great game, great fun. What was that? Why was this last message number 23? File 23. That seems so weird. Thanks for playing our game all the way to the very end. We look forward to the day we can present you with another Paranormasight. I wonder what the significance of 23 is. But anyways, yeah, this game was really fun. I enjoyed the story a lot. The characters were great. And I would love to see another Paranormasight, however long that will take to come out.